What's going on, guys? It's Joe from KFR Technology, and real quick, we have this class I set up right here. Last I left you, we were working on if and else statements, and I didn't give too much context to what you would need if and else statements where I kind of gave the general idea of them. They only execute if this is true, and then this will get executed, whatever's inside. But I didn't really give you a reason why. So, I mean, there's a really easy kind of program that most people learn when they're learning to program with if and else statements, and that usually just has something to do with like age or accepting data. So for this, you're going to need some way of getting the user's data. So just by asking them it, and then they enter it in. So I imported a scanner, and when you import something, see, imports are reserved for it, excuse me. And when you import something, that's when you go into the Java library. It might not be in the Java library, but in this case it is in the Java library. And then you go into the folder under the utilities, and then you pull out the scanner class, and it reads it, and it holds all the scanner's methods and classes and information within this class, basically. So you can access all the methods. And scanner isn't so we have a scanner right here, and it's a class, but you got to create an object for it because it's not static. The scanner methods aren't static, but we have right here, and then we have to pass it a new scanner system.in. Basically, you're not really gonna know what this does. You're not really gonna need to know what this does. I just type this before. And then remember, keyboard is your object name. So when you reference it, it's not going to be called string equals scanner.nix. It's string equals whatever you name the object. So if I named it like just board, then I would have to change this to board too. So what we have is our data we've entered ourselves. We've got a string. We got a user input that just equals 0, and a char, and a final int. And a final means that it can't be changed. So if I just say like adult age equals 17, no, adult age plus 1. That won't work because it's a final variable. It will not change. That's your constant right there. So let's say you're creating something that converts Fahrenheit to Celsius. You're gonna have the conversion factor be that can be a final because it will never change. You're not gonna need the user to change it. You just want to have it be final. That's just so you don't just in case you accidentally try to change it, or you accidentally put in a thing where the user could try to change it. Just keep it final if you know it's going to be a constant. This is the adult age for video games in America. M-rated video games you have to be 17. I'm pretty sure R-rated movies too. By I don't know what rates the movies, but it's the ESRB that does video games. So 17. I was thinking 18 for voting, but it doesn't really go with my strings down here, which I'll explain in a second. So I was just gonna say how old are you, but that's kind of creepy. So I just started out by saying, hi, what is your name? And you use a system.out.println to like engage the user and ask them a question. So I just said, what is your name? And then this string right here, str, that variable right there, equals keyboard.next, and that's a method right there of scanner. And all it does is it looks for the next line of text. Well, sorry, it just looks for the next word. Next line would be the next line of text. It just looks for the first word in the compiler when the person types something in. So this is just allowing you to look at raw keyboard input. And then we have system.out.println okay, and then we concatenate right here string. So this is kind of interesting. This is putting their data into the question. So it's not being used in the if and else statement right here, but we get to use it in the question, and it feels a bit more personal because it. You'll see in a second when I start it. It just feels a bit more personal if your name is put into the program. Might seem a bit creepy if you don't use computers a lot and you type in your name and you think it knows your name. All of a sudden, it stores it somewhere, but it stores it in temporary data. You know, this isn't. I maybe I should get this out of the way. All this data, unless you store it in like a Word document or any kind of document that you can save into a hard drive. It doesn't have to be a Word document. It can be anything you can save into a hard drive. All these development environments, most of them, I believe, when you save the data, it just goes into temporary memory. It doesn't actually get saved. So, especially with BlueJ, you can't save it unless you save it to something that will actually put it in the hard drive. Or a solid state drive, whatever you have. So we have the user input, which is right here at 0, but the user input equals keyboard.nextInt, and this gets the next integer that gets typed. So if they type 23, then user input will equal 23. Same with string. If they type in Joe, this str is going to equal Joe. Alright, so then we have if user input is greater than or equal to adult age. I said you are Call of Duty's target audience, meaning people over 17, which is the final adult age, or equal to 17, you know, because you can buy video and rate video games at 17. You are Call of Duty's target audience, you know. They tend to say they don't probably target people who can't buy their games legally by themselves, I'm guessing. You know, just for ethical reasons. But then, and then if you're not above 17, I said you are Call of Duty actual audience, meaning people who actually buy the game. You know, there's plenty of people who are 17 and over who play Call of Duty, but I'd say the majority of your audience, you know, it's 12 people in XBLA on those good old Xboxes. So yeah, we have, so all it does is just ask you a few questions, doesn't save it anywhere. It's just a nice program to get you used to asking people. Oh, I have one of those. I don't even remember that project. Sorry, that was a school project. I guess I closed everything on it. Let's just compile this. Okay, then we go here and we're gonna run it. So it says, hi, what is your name? This might be hard. You might want to switch to 1080p if you're in 480p. It's a bit hard to see. So then we say, oh, my name is Joe. If you say Joe T, it won't work because it's next int. See, I just got an error right there. Yeah, no, it was expecting a next int. Okay, so I was gonna accept this. I expect this one to get the error, but this one got fulfilled just by Joe, and then it thought I typed a T in for int. So let's just say next line. Let's compile that. I guess if someone wants to type in their full name and initial, so why not? Hi, okay, Joe. Oh, the comma's offset because I put a space in there, I think. How old are you? Why not tell you? I am Call of Duty's actual audience, okay? Not for what long, you know. I don't even play Call of Duty anymore, so just a little fact about me. So, let's see. Yeah, I like next better. I don't think people are going to enter their last names. Just you could put here only enter first name, exclamation point. It's important, okay? What is your name? Hi, oh sorry, hi, comma, what is your name? Only enter first name. Joe. Hi, Joe, comma. How old are you? I'm we don't want dashes. I'm that old. I am Call of Duty's target audience. But guess what? I'm not gonna buy it because I'm older. Let's see. Wait, how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not older than the Earth, I don't think. It's like 8 billion years old. I'm totally wrong on that. I don't remember. I used to remember that fact, but it's not 2,000 years old if you thought it's not 2014 years old if you thought it was that. Sorry to disappoint you. It's just science. Well, I mean, Alright, yeah, and that's basically all I wanted to show you. I'm going to put this in the source code back in the description again. If you want to mess around with it, this is a very good teaching program, I believe. It's really gets you into why programmers use if and else. It's all about looking through the data, like in algorithms and stuff. That's using more like math and if else to decide to go through data of someone else, but the data is from them, and it's a bit more complicated. But this is a really good understanding of basic if else statements and why you would use them to interact with a user. Because I mean, most of the time you're gonna have a user on a program, unless you're gonna have a user all the time. Okay. So this is Joe from KFR Technology. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching, guys.